Hello friendos, it's Bella from the Bookish Badger, and today I'm coming at you guys with the Day 7 Booktube-A-thon video challenge, which is called Your Favorite Book, in which you basically just talk about your favorite book and how it became your favorite book and your journey with that book and all of that good stuff. So today, if it's any surprise, I am going to be talking about my favorite book, Harry Potter. So my journey with Harry Potter is a bit of an odd one because I had a connection to Harry Potter way before I read the books, and also I read the books way after all of the initial hype was over, after they had all been released and all of that. My connection with Harry Potter before I read the books was my brother, his friend, and I would all play Harry Potter together because my brother and his friend really liked Harry Potter and I wanted to play with them, so I had to play Harry Potter, and so I was always cast as Hermione in the group because I was the only girl. And then we did different things, like we also went to the midnight release of the 7th book and I dressed up as Hermione and I won a costume contest for that, even though I knew nothing about the books or even really the storyline. So anyway, fast forward to the summer of when I'm 13 and all of my friends are reading Harry Potter, and Harry Potter had of course been on my mental to read list for a very long time because of playing Harry Potter and all that when I was younger, but this summer all of my friends were like, Bella, you have to read this. This is a great book. You're going to love it. Oh my gosh. And finally I was just like, okay, I'll read it. I'll finally see what the hype is about, because I knew in the back of my mind that I was going to really like it, but I didn't want to get so attached to something, and also I was sort of holding back because I wasn't quite the reader then as I am now, and the pivot point for that was reading Harry Potter. So I finally sat down and I read The Sorcerer's Stone and I was in deep from that point on. My favorite book up to reading Harry Potter was Ella Enchanted by Gail Carson Levine, which is still one of my favorite books to this day. But what I loved so much about Ella Enchanted was just the magical environment. I was so enveloped by this idea that you could live in a world where there were fairies and trolls and giants and magic spells and witches and wizards and all of those things, and that was Ella Enchanted, and that was Harry Potter even more, because Harry Potter was more in depth, had more detail, it had more books, and I loved it. I loved it, and what Harry Potter had that Ella Enchanted didn't was that Harry Potter is set in the normal world. Harry Potter, until he's 11, is a normal kid to his knowledge, and then he just gets whisked off to wizarding school, and the idea that there could be magic in the world that we live in, that this fantasy world that I love so much could exist, I just loved it. I loved it so much. I very quickly read the rest of the series. I think I read the whole series in something like 2 months, which is quick for me even now. When I finally got to the Deathly Hallows, it was the first book that ever made me cry, and I cried on 2 separate occasions. It was at a certain character death that I will never get over, and at the ending. And I think the Deathly Hallows, after I finished the Harry Potter series, it was the only true book hangover I've ever experienced to this day. I remember finishing the epilogue and sobbing, and then going downstairs and sobbing to my mom about how it's over and I can't believe it's over and I'm never going to find a book series that I love more than this, and how am I supposed to read other books now because nothing's ever going to be as good as Harry Potter. What was I going to do? Should I just quit reading? And on and on and on, all while tears are streaming down my face. And then inevitably I started consuming all of the Harry Potter media I could find. I watched all of the movies, which by the way I hated when I first saw them because it was way too soon after I read the book, so I could pick out everything that they changed, and it bugged me so much, and I'm still slightly bitter to this day for how much the movies changed, but not as much as I was. Anyway, that's when I discovered Star Kid and the Harry Potter musicals, all that, you know, Potter Puppet Pals, all these parody songs and memes and posts, and every time I met somebody in the back of my head I would just start sorting them into their Hogwarts house, and when Pottermore came out, of course I jumped right on that. For the longest time, Harry Potter was one of the only things on my brain. So here is a bookish confession, and a huge confession as a Harry Potter fan in general. I have never reread the Harry Potter books. I read them the one time, and it was 6 years ago at this point. When my mom asked me, like, what book are you gonna choose for your favorite book video, and I said Harry Potter, she said, really? After all this time, like, after all this time, after all the books that you've read that you've loved, you would still pick Harry Potter even though you haven't read it in so long? And I said, Harry Potter is the only book that has ingrained itself into my life and into my bloodstream as much as it has. I could choose something like The Raven Boys, something like Anne of Green Gables, something like I'll Give You the Sun for this video. But Harry Potter is so me as a person. It's a part of my personality. To my friends, I'm like the Harry Potter friend. And all my friends like Harry Potter, but I'm the Harry Potter friend. And you know what? If I read Harry Potter today, I don't know if I would like something like the writing style, because when I read Harry Potter, I didn't really care about writing style. I cared about the characters, and I loved the magic, and I loved the overwhelming thing that, you know, love wins over evil. But I didn't really pay attention to writing style, but I do pay attention to writing style now. So I might reread Harry Potter and find out I don't like the writing style, but I think that even if that happened, it would still remain as my favorite book because it's just so ingrained into my soul and who I am. And even if I didn't like the writing style in Harry Potter, I would still have the other things I mentioned, like the characters and like the magic, which is just my absolutely favorite thing about Harry Potter, and like the love aspect. I adore the fact that Harry Potter's message is that love wins, because especially in today's times and political climate, if you live in America and you feel how I do about politics, it feels like maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe, you know, hate does win and we should all just hate each other and be mean and awful to each other because that's how you get ahead in life. But Harry Potter makes you believe in your heart of hearts that that is not true, that that is not the way that it works, that no matter what happens, deep down in the end, love will always prevail over everything else, no matter what it seems like at the moment, no matter what you're going through right now. Love will always be the prevailing factor, and it will defeat all of the evils in the world. That is why I love Harry Potter so much. I was planning on making this a video anyway. I was gonna call it like my journey with Harry Potter, but now I can just call it Day 7 Booktube-A-thon video challenge. So there you go. Okay, so that is pretty much it for this video. I'm so sad that Booktube-A-thon is coming to a close. I'm already looking forward to it for next year because I just had a blast this year. I will be coming at you guys soon with a Booktube-A-thon wrap-up so that you can actually know how I did with the reading, because I've been focusing on the video challenges, so y'all have no idea how I've done with reading this week. I would love to hear from you guys if you love Harry Potter, what you love about it, what your journey was with it, if you're doing this challenge, what book you did so I can go watch it over on your channels. Any of it, all of it, please leave it in a comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, do not hesitate to give it a thumbs up. Do not hesitate to subscribe for more content coming soon, and I will see you in the next video. Bookish Badger, signing off.